Welcome to my tutorial for a non-traditional French style omelet. So maybe you're interested in learning to make food and you want to start with something simple, or maybe you just want to make your significant other breakfast and they really like omelets. So what you're going to need for this recipe is pretty simple. You're going to need a small to medium-sized non-stick pan, 3 to 4 eggs, olive oil, and salt and pepper. Before you start, make sure to set the heat to medium and let your pan heat up for a minute or so while you mix the eggs. Then you're going to go ahead and crack your 3 to 4 eggs into a bowl and add about a pinch of both salt and pepper. When the pan's heating up, you can go ahead and stir the eggs with a fork. Personally, I prefer the fork over any other utensil because it's easier to beat the eggs. When you think you're almost done stirring, pour in enough olive oil into the pan where it just covers the bottom. What I do when I do this step is I move the oil up the sides of the pan to prevent the eggs sticking to it. Also, the reason I use olive oil rather than butter, for example, is because butter will burn if it gets too hot, unlike olive oil, and we do not want a burnt omelet. I continue stirring for quite a while because I don't want to see any egg whites in the finished product because it looks visually unappealing. But when you think you're done, go ahead and add the eggs to the pan. As soon as the eggs go in, I push in the eggs on all 4 sides. Then what I do is I angle the pan so that more of the uncooked parts of the egg will fill in what I pushed into the center. I do this step about 2 to 3 times just to make sure most of the egg is fully cooked before I start folding it inward. While you're performing this step, I'll explain why I call this a non-traditional French style omelet. The non-traditional part of this omelet comes into play when I add pepper, because normally in a traditional French style omelet, you only add salt and whatever herbs you like, but I only add pepper and I don't use herbs. The other part that makes this a non-traditional omelet is when I push in the eggs on the 4 sides of the pan, which at the end gives you that textured look. But for a traditional French style omelet, it is completely smooth on the outside. The part that is still French, however, are the 2 to 3 folds that we do and subsequently flipping the omelet onto a plate for better visual representation. Alright, now once about 80% of the eggs are cooked, you can start folding. What I do is start from the furthest part of the pan away from you and work my way in. Once I fold it close to me, that's when I start folding in the part of the egg that's close to the handle. After the 2 folds are made, it's time to transfer it to a plate. Gently push the omelet to the back side of the pan without breaking it. Then, grab your plate and in one motion, turn your pan onto the plate, letting the omelet fall right into it, like I do in this video. It's a very fast-paced technique and it may take a bit of practicing to get used to, but there you go. You've got a non-traditional French-style omelet. Go give this to someone you care about to make their day better, or eat it yourself. You earned it. I won't judge. Thanks for watching my tutorial. See y'all later.